The first time I suspected something was wrong, it was a Tuesday. Just an ordinary, forgettable Tuesday. Or so it should have been. Anna was on the phone, her back to me, her voice a low murmur I couldn't quite catch. When she noticed me, she hung up abruptly. "Just a colleague," she said, a little too quickly. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. I brushed it off. We all have our work stresses, right? But that little seed of doubt had been planted. Over the next few weeks, the signs grew, like weeds choking a garden. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Business trips on weekends. Her phone, once left casually on the counter, was now her constant companion, always screened down or tucked away. Whenever I'd walk into the room, conversations would end. Apps would be swiped away. The air in our home, once filled with easy laughter, grew thick with unspoken words, and a tension I could almost touch. I tried to talk to her. "Is everything okay, Anna? You seem distant." She'd force a laugh and blame it on a demanding project, a difficult boss. "Don't be silly, Mark, I'm just tired." She'd kiss my cheek, a fleeting cool touch that felt more like a formality than affection. Each excuse was plausible on its own, but together they formed a pattern, a narrative that was pulling her further and further away from me. I felt like I was losing her, but I couldn't grasp why. I started to question myself. Was I being paranoid? Was I not supportive enough? The uncertainty was eating me alive. The breaking point came with a credit card statement. A charge for a fancy dinner for two at a place we'd never been, on a night she was supposedly working late. Then, a hotel booking. Not a business chain hotel, but a boutique inn, the kind you'd book for a romantic getaway. My heart hammered against my ribs. It was no longer a suspicion. It was a cold, hard fact staring me in the face. The woman I had built my life with, the one I trusted implicitly, was living a double life. The pain was sharp, physical, like a punch to the gut that stole all the air from my lungs. I could have confronted her right then, thrown the papers in her face, demanded an explanation. But what would that achieve? More lies? A screaming match that would shatter what little was left of our home? No. If I was going to face this, I needed undeniable proof, not just for myself, but to understand the depth of her betrayal. So with a heavy heart and trembling hands, I made a decision that would change everything. I decided to follow her. It felt wrong, like a violation of the trust I thought we still shared. But her actions had already shattered that trust into a million pieces. The next Saturday, she said she had an all-day seminar across town. She dressed up more than usual for a work event. A little spritz of her expensive perfume, a touch of extra care with her makeup. "I'll be late, don't wait up," she said, giving me that same hollow kiss. As her car pulled out of the driveway, I got into mine. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles were white. Every instinct screamed at me to turn back, to pretend I didn't know, to live in blissful ignorance. But I couldn't. I had to know the truth, no matter how much it hurt. I followed her, keeping a safe distance. She didn't go to the convention center. Instead, she drove to a quiet, tree-lined street in a neighborhood I didn't recognize. She parked in front of a charming little house, the kind with a white picket fence. My breath caught in my throat as a man came out to greet her. He wasn't a colleague. He smiled, and she melted into his arms, a genuine, radiant smile I hadn't seen directed at me in months. They kissed, a long, passionate kiss that felt like a knife twisting in my chest. Then he took her hand, and they walked inside together, closing the door on the world, and on me. I just sat there in my car, staring at the closed door. It was so domestic, so normal. This wasn't a cheap affair in a motel. This was a whole other life. How long had this been going on? Did he know about me? Did they laugh about the poor, clueless husband at home? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more painful than the last. The world outside my car window kept moving. People walked their dogs, kids rode their bikes, But my world had ground to a screeching, horrifying halt. I felt a strange mix of rage and an emptiness so profound it was suffocating. I drove home in a daze. Our house, our shared photos, our life together. It all felt like a lie. When Anna came home that night, humming a happy tune, she found me sitting in the dark. "Mark, why are all the lights off?" she asked, her voice bright. I didn't answer. I just looked at her, and for the first time, she saw it. She saw that I knew. The color drained from her face. Her fake smile crumbled, replaced by a look of pure panic. "Mark, what's wrong?" she stammered. "I saw you, Anna," I said, my voice eerily calm. "I saw you at his house, the one with the white picket fence." Her whole body went rigid. The truth, finally out in the open, hung between us, ugly and undeniable. There were no more excuses, no more lies she could hide behind. She tried to speak, to form some kind of defense, but the words wouldn't come. She just stood there, exposed. She had tried so desperately to hide her secret world, but she never imagined I would go looking for it. She never imagined I had already seen everything. The happy homecoming, the passionate kiss, the closing door. I had seen the life she chose over ours. And in that moment of silent, devastating clarity, I knew our marriage was over. The journey ahead would be painful, but it was a journey I had to take alone, towards a future where I could finally heal and trust again. Thank you for watching. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you're not alone and that brighter days are ahead. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories. We'll see you in the next one.